First at 4, the DEA talks about a massive push to get dangerous drugs off our streets. We'll talk about the battle here in Michigan. Also, police shooting examined. We're going to take a look for a better understanding of what happens when life and death decisions are made in just seconds. And here's Kim Adams.
What a beautiful afternoon here in Metro Detroit. Temperatures in the upper 70s, but of course it won't last. I'll have the forecast for the weekend coming up in a few minutes.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we're getting the results of a major effort by federal agents to get fentanyl off our streets. Now, between May and September, the DEA seized 10 million fake pills and almost 1,000 pounds of powdered fentanyl nationwide. That's the equivalent of 36 million deadly doses. In Michigan and Ohio alone, 4 million doses were taken. Federal agents are issuing a warning about rainbow fentanyl ahead of Halloween, and that's those pills that look very similar to candy. They say drug traffickers are using social media to market to a younger demographic of users.
The older young adults you can have that conversation with, and just making them aware that if a pill wasn't prescribed to you, you should not take it. It's extremely important. It's not, you don't have to have an addiction issue to actually overdose or to actually get poisoned by fentanyl. The fact is, a majority of people who are taking fentanyl are not seeking fentanyl and have no idea what they're ingesting.
The DEA reports 129 investigations were linked to social media. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy says the fight for justice in the Flint water crisis is not over quite yet. She says her team is still assessing its next step. If you remember, it was yesterday a judge dismissed charges against 7 people. The ruling came after the state Supreme Court determined a judge acting as a one-person grand jury could not issue indictments. Well, today, Worthy said that procedure has been part of Michigan law for more than 100 years. She says the Flint prosecution team is assessing its next move, and Worthy believes it may be able to still pursue charges based on the warrants already issued. Plus, she had this message for the people of Flint.
Is that we still care. We're going to hang in there. We're going to continue to fight for you. What happened was abominable and horrible that no one should have to go through. This is a team that is supremely committed to this case.
So it looks like the legal wrangling over the charges against those 7 defendants may continue. We're going to follow this closely. Of course, we'll keep you posted on the prosecution team's next step. Well, it has now been 24 hours since the Detroit Police Department released the body cam video of that shooting that left a young man dead last weekend. Officers were called to the West Side Sunday because 22-year-old Porter Burks was having a mental health crisis, walking around with a knife on the street. Now, the video showed officers begging him to drop the knife. Police say he did not, and then charged at the officers. 5 of them opened fire, shooting 38 bullets. Today, we're trying to understand what happened to Porter Burks. Our Paula Tutman has been talking to experts about a very complicated equation with life and death consequences. Paula?
Yeah, hi, Karen. Hi, everybody. First of all, I want you to know that this investigation is not over. I just got back downstairs from an exclusive one-on-one interview with the chief of police. They're still uncovering things. The first thing that was uncovered is that perhaps not all 5 officers even fired their weapons. So that was the first thing that came out of our conversation. However, 38 shots were indeed fired. A young man with known mental health issues is dead, and it raises a whole lot of other questions.
He was he was schizophrenic.
Porter Burks, according to his family, was sick. He had a disease called mental illness.
You have it on record. It's on documentation from the doctor.
When police arrive on the scene Sunday, October 2nd at 5 in the morning, the frantic brother of Porter Burks approaches them.
I have a little brother, he schizophrenic, and he have a knife.
He tells police his brother is having a mental episode, is armed with a knife, and is dangerous. He says those words. It sets off a chain of events with an equation. A person in acute mental crisis plus police officers in an acute crisis confrontation equals, but the math isn't that easy.
What would you do? What would you do? What would I, until you're confronted with that situation? You come up and you're like, hey, gotta cool it, put the knife down, please, 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 uh-oh.
Okay, hey, can you listen to me? What? Can you just set that knife down and we'll talk? I promise. Here, we'll put everything away. We just need you to drop the knife.
Steve Dolan, retired DPD assistant police chief and Local 4 analyst, explains SOPs, standard operating procedures. In the case of an imminent threat, officers are trained to stop the threat, whether that's one shot or more. Assess, but stop the threat. In this case, a total of 4 officers, possibly a 5th officer, according to the chief of police today, fired a total of 38 shots, striking Porter Burks numerous times. A total of 15 wounds counted, but still under investigation is how many were individual bullet wounds. That said, the 22-year-old was fatally shot by Detroit police.
Sympathetic fire, you fire your weapon and you don't realize you're still firing it. And people find that it's no way that could happen. But numerous interviews, because I've done them, I've asked the officer, how many times did you fire? He goes, twice. So your clip is empty. No, I only fired twice. Because they're in the mindset, just keep pulling the trigger.
Which now creates another uncomfortable calculation. Is it safe to call police when someone is mentally ill? Because even with crisis intervention training, or CIT, of which one of those officers had 48 hours worth of training, what happens in adrenaline-induced fog? And what is a frantic family to do?
I hate to say, if anyone out here that have a family member, a loved one, or even a neighbor that's suffering from mental illness, help them yourself. Don't call 911. They might not make it. Don't call for help.
And that really is the great big elephant in the room right now. As I mentioned, I just spoke to Chief White, and I asked him that question point blank, no pun intended, point blank. Is it safe to call police if you have someone who's in an acute mental illness episode and they could be considered dangerous? That story is coming up at 5. Karen.
All right, we look forward to hear what the chief has to say about that. Paula, thanks so much. Well, other news, more electric vehicles need more batteries. We know that. And Metro Detroit is going to be an even bigger part of that transition. Today, Governor Whitmer announced Michigan-based Our Next Energy will invest $1.6 billion in Wayne County. The company will build its first ever manufacturing campus over in Van Buren Township. Now, that investment will create more than 2,100 jobs. Coming up at 6, business editor Rob Maloney is going to dig into those developments and see what comes next. Tonight might be that perfect night. Have dinner outside. You'll definitely want to enjoy this midweek warm-up before another change arrives. Here's Kim Adams with our gorgeous evening forecast.
Well, Karen, when it's like this, you can't put things like that off. You need to take advantage of it, especially tonight, because tomorrow night we will already be starting to see some changes. So get out there tonight, enjoy it, take a walk, whatever you want to do, just try to do it outside. 77 at City Airport, it is 78 degrees. Can you believe that in October? 78 degrees at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 73 in Pontiac, upper 70s even as far north as Port Huron. This evening, once the sun set, it does cool down rather quickly. 68 degrees at 8 o'clock, 63 by 10 o'clock tonight, and we'll be in the upper 50s by midnight. Not as cold, it looks like, over the next several hours as it usually is once the sun sets. It's still a bit chilly out there. We've got one more day of warm weather, and then we'll talk about that weekend forecast with some big changes in a minute.
Kim. President Joe Biden and the First Lady are in Florida right now to get a status update on recovery efforts after Hurricane Ian hit the Gulf Coast. Now, the storm made landfall 1 week ago today. Sandra Ali joins us from the newsroom with the latest on the president's visit. Sandra.
Good afternoon to you, Karen. Good afternoon, everyone. The efforts to help hurricane victims in Florida have now become bipartisan for now, as the president is working with Florida's Republican governor, Ron DeSantis, to assess exactly where help is needed and as quickly as possible. Here's the very latest. The president has been surveying the damage to Southwest Florida on land and by air. The first couple, they got a bird's eye view of the devastation left by the hurricane in the Fort Myers area. More than 100 people died because of the storm. And today, Florida's governor says 97% of power has been restored there in the state. Governor DeSantis is a possible presidential candidate in 2024, as you may know, but everyone is obviously putting politics aside to deal with the disaster.
We are cutting through the bureaucracy. We are cutting through the red tape, and that's from local government, state government, all the way up to the president. So we appreciate the team effort.
We're one of the few nations in the world that, on a basis of a crisis we face, we're the only nation that comes out of it better than we went into it. And that's what we're going to do this time around. Come out of it better, because this is the United States of America, and I emphasize united.
The president is promising the federal government will be working in Florida until the job is finished. Of course, we're going to have much more on his visit when you join us tonight at 5. Karen, back to you.
All right, we'll see you at 5. Thank you, Sandra.